Good morning, this is Dick Zondag, Jung's Garden Doctor, and today we're going to talk a little bit about the difference between grafted vegetable plants, tomatoes, peppers, and eggplants, and just seedling plants. The reason that we use grafted plants is that in many cases some of the soil diseases that tomatoes and eggplants and peppers are susceptible to can be avoided because the rootstock that we use is resistant or tolerant of these soil diseases, and so you'll get a much better crop out of them because the plants will not become diseased. They also give the plants a lot more vigor so that you can expect to get double or triple the amount of vegetables and much earlier because the plants are less diseased and will grow much faster. This morning we're going to look at a grafted tomato plant, and this happens to be a tomato that was grafted probably a month or two ago, and we planted it about 3 weeks ago, and you'll see that the plant has this little stake which was used initially to hold the plant straight while the graft union knitted. What they do is they take the rootstock tomato and cut it off right below the cotyledon so that there's no chance that it will branch. And then they put this grafting clip, which is a little plastic clip, on the stem of the rootstock, and then they take the scion, which is in this case celebrity, and they put the two together, and the clip holds them in place until the wound heals so that the plant starts to grow. Now, people have written us and asked us about taking that clip off. Leave the clip on, because as the plant grows in diameter, it will expel that clip, because the clip is soft plastic and the plant will just grow through it. So the advantages to using the rootstock is that it's immune to some of the soil-borne diseases that tomatoes are very susceptible for. And the rootstock is very vigorous, so it will grow much faster than a seedling. Now this happens to be a seedling, and you can see there's no graft union or anything in there. This is just a plain seedling. And the disadvantage to this is if you have a variety that's not immune or tolerant of some of the soil-borne diseases, it will slow the plant down and eventually it will kill the plant. So especially with the heirloom varieties like Brandywine, Mortgage Lifter, and some of the other tomato varieties that are heirloom, they do tend not to have the resistance to the diseases, so much better for a grafted tomato. We also have eggplants and peppers that are grafted, and again they will give you much more fruit, and you can see that the graft is very close to the ground. Now when you plant the plant with seedling tomatoes, if your seedling tomato has taken off and it's quite tall, you just cut the bottom leaves off and you plant the plant horizontally, and then just tip the end of it up so that you have this in the ground. That way the plant will root all along that stem, and then the plant will start to grow. With the grafted tomatoes, you want to make sure that that graft is above ground, and that you either put the tomato in a cage or you tie it up somehow so that the plant does not touch the ground, because tomatoes can root, and if you get a root system above the graft union, you've negated what the grafted tomato will do. So I've trained grafted tomatoes onto chain link fences. I've trained them onto wires. I've also caged some of them. Anything that keeps the tomato from sprawling out and going on the ground. Also disbudding them as they grow will also help you with that. So Again, the advantages of grafted are that they're disease resistant, they're very vigorous, and they will produce 2 to 3 times the amount of fruit, and some earlier than that. If you have any further questions, please contact us at info@jungseed.com, and we can answer your questions.